Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live Argentina discussion. My name is Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com. I'm joined by Osvaldo Godoy, also of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and we are here to talk about a lot of stuff and the big stuff coming up for Argentina and the World Cup. We're going to talk all about it. First things first, as always, Osvaldo, how are you and how's everything?
Good, I'm doing well, Roy. Today, using wearing matching jerseys. You're wearing the Messi from 2006, the away kid. I'm wearing the Riquelme one. And yes, a lot of things to talk about. We haven't done a YouTube live in a while, although Argentina, yeah, the last time they played was against Angola, but the Argentinian players are continue to play every weekend with their teams and also during the week in Champions League, Europa League. And we've had some good performances from some players. So there's definitely a lot to talk about.
Some very good performances. The big performance is the one you see at the bottom, the name at the bottom, Enzo Fernandez and the Argentina midfielders. We'll talk about that. As always, let us know down below where you're watching from. Leave us a comment. We tend to get from all around the world, so let us know and give us your thoughts and opinions. Of course, we're talking about Enzo Fernandez. Obviously, massive performance midweek in the Champions League for Chelsea versus Barcelona. Played very well. Might I add, I thought Garnacho played very well as well in that one. But you look at Enzo Fernandez, and for me, he's one of the best midfielders in the world right now. On form, he is there. He's been very consistent for Chelsea and very consistent for Argentina. And he's a starter, and he's a starter for a reason for both teams.
He changed the whole dynamic of Chelsea since he arrived. I know at the beginning it was hard because he didn't have a great team. There were a lot of other players. It wasn't only Enzo Fernandez, but now, especially since the Club World Cup and beating Paris Saint Germain in the final the way they did, Chelsea is, in my opinion, one of the best teams in the last year, like without a doubt. And Enzo Fernandez is a key player in that Chelsea. It's nice also to see Garnacho and sometimes Buonanotte have some minutes. I think it's very good for those two players too, because they were not having minutes in United and in Brighton or Leicester in the case of Buonanotte. But I'm very pleased with the way Enzo Fernandez is playing against Barcelona. I know, Roy, you're kind of a Barcelona fan.
Yeah.
Uh, Chelsea could have easily won 6-0. I didn't watch the whole match, but I watched the highlights and I couldn't believe what I was watching. It's just uh, is it did Enzo score like two that were an offside, right?
Offside.
Offside. Wow.
Offside. The first one was the first goal of the game, offside, and then the second one later on. I mean, you said I'm a Barcelona fan. Uh, Chelsea played that well, and Barcelona played very badly, and it could have been more than 4-0 for Chelsea. Easily could have been significantly more than four. Enzo Fernandez, in my opinion, ran the show, ran the midfield for Chelsea in that one. Buonanotte, you briefly mentioned, not getting as many minutes as maybe Garnacho, although Garnacho has matured very well this season. Enzo, I'm trying to think. I can't think of a more informed or better midfielder right now than Enzo Fernandez. I know some people might say Barco. I know. I mean, Valentin Barco. A lot of people look at him as a left back. I don't think he's a left back anymore. Very much a
No.
midfielder for Strasbourg. But for me, maybe Enzo just edges it over Barco. He's been that good, and they've both been that good actually, both of them.
I agree. I agree. And then we're gonna continue talking of the other players that are in form that I think they're gonna be fighting for a spot in the World Cup. Valentin Gomez, for example, really good job
Yeah.
with Betis as a left back. He's a center back, but he's playing as a left back. But yeah, in that midfield, maybe Alexis McAllister and Liverpool itself, they're not having a great season so far. But today they won 2-0 against West Ham. I think that McAllister it's also will have a good level towards the World Cup. And then Rodrigo de Paul, that yes, he's playing at Inter Miami, but Inter Miami are doing really well, and that's something else that we're definitely gonna talk about. So I'm pretty confident with the level for midfielders right now.
Oh no, absolutely, I am, and I mean, we've spoken about it in the past. It's the position that Argentina have the most depth in is in midfield. You mentioned Enzo, mentioned De Paul, you mentioned Alexis McAllister. There's a lot others, right, that are in the team, and some that are not in the team that could very well be included for the World Cup, or potentially even the Finalissima in March. One of the names, not a midfielder, we'll answer this in just a couple of moments. We'll get to it, but do you think there's a chance Rossi will get called up for Argentina one day? Agustin Rossi just won the Copa Libertadores with Flamengo, beating Palmeiras with Lopez and Agustin Diay as well. Rossi was very good in that Libertadores for Flamengo. Very, very good, be it against Estudiantes or versus Racing, and in the final as well. He was solid.
He was really good. I think he's still young. Let me see how old he is.
I believe he's 30 or 31.
He's
For a
30.
goalkeeper,
Okay.
he's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I thought he was younger though. Because if you compare him, maybe because Dibu Martinez and Rulli are, of course, the Dibu Martinez, we don't even have to mention him, but Rulli, for example, he's doing a great job in Marseille. But maybe Walter Benitez not really playing in Crystal Palace since he left PSV. I think that Rossi nowadays is better than Walter Benitez.
Potential, at least in form, absolutely. But Walter Benitez, I thought was very good when he was with Nice, very good with PSV. I don't understand the move to Crystal Palace, becoming the number 2 goalkeeper there. But Rossi's good and Rossi's solid. He wasn't called up, and he hasn't been called up for Argentina. But maybe it's a case of, remember all those years ago where Armani was playing very well in the Copa Libertadores? This was maybe 10 years ago now. Where he was playing very well, but he was never called up, and he was called up a little bit too late. Maybe it's something like this. Now, of course, if Rossi's called up, he's going to be behind Emiliano Martinez. He's going to be behind Geronimo Rulli, but maybe that number 3 goalkeeper spot, him or Walter Benitez, Juan Musso. Musso played well for Atletico Madrid, and at least he's playing. Benitez isn't really playing much.
Yes, and when you're a goalkeeper, I think that it's very important that they have, especially if they're not the first goalkeeper. Because in the case of Sergio Romero, I remember he wasn't really a starter, but then in Argentina he would play and he would do well. But I think as a second goalkeeper, in case something happens to Dibu Martinez, you have to have enough minutes to be able to respond. I'm taking a look at it right now. So Juan Musso is 31 years old, right? So yeah. I seen all these goalkeepers that, taking Dibu Martinez aside, they're all 30, 31, 32 years old. So and any of those goalkeepers could be a second or third. I would like to see which goalkeeper, maybe a little bit younger, could be in a third spot as a goalkeeper, because I understand. I think Rossi right now could easily be the third goalkeeper, but in reality, how many minutes would Rossi have in an important match for Argentina? Zero. So I don't know if it makes a lot of sense even to call him up.
That's true, and I get that for sure. And it's not often the third choice goalkeeper will even play at a World Cup. But at least to have that backup. And I think no matter what, even if Rossi is called up or Walter Benitez is called up, doesn't matter. I think Rulli is that number 2 goalkeeper. And we saw it versus Angola, and we saw it in some of the matches where Martinez, was not there. It was Geronimo Rulli as the goalkeeper for Argentina. And credit to him, he's been very good for Marseille the last year and a half or so, or 2 years since he's joined them. Argentina are in good hands. They're in good hands when it comes to that.
Yes, and it's also true that Agustin Rossi is a great penalty saver. With Boca Juniors, he demonstrated a lot. And you never know. I mean, in the 1990, Sergio Goicoechea was the third goalkeeper. He ended up playing a decisive role in the team. So it's also true that you gotta be very careful of who you bring as a third goalkeeper. Yeah. Who knows? Hopefully nothing happens with Dibu Martinez, but something might happen during the World Cup. And yes, you can put Rulli, but in quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, maybe you need a goalkeeper that can save you in the penalty shootouts. Yeah. And without Dibu Martinez in that hypothetical case, I think Agustin Rossi could be a great goalkeeper.
Oh, definitely. I'm all for it. We'll get to this comment says Cesar Reyes, Rossi, goalkeeper Flamengo, Copa Libertadores champion, very good. Yeah. In short, pretty much. Says Cesar Reyes. Elijah saying, I also want Tadeo Agenda to get called up. This one, maybe not. This one, I don't know. I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit when we were texting.
More as a joke. I think
Yeah, I know. Too much competition.
he's playing great, but yeah, it's the MLS. But
Yeah.
he's doing really well. I don't know exactly how many goals and he scored in the last couple of matches, but he's playing really well for Inter Miami. I believe he's 26.
He's in his
I
mid 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know exactly in which position. Let's say Scaloni calls him up. I don't know exactly in which position he would play. If he's more of a midfielder or
Wing
more of a
winger,
attack.
maybe out wide.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, definitely, I don't see
Uh,
Scaloni doing something like that. Although I expect some surprises for the list of 2026. He always
I
surprises with something.
there's always something. There's always something. The big thing for Argentina is there's pretty much one, maybe two matches left before the World Cup team pretty much gets announced. And that's the Finalissima in March, and maybe a friendly match before then or after that in March for Argentina. So I expect some surprises, but we'll see who and what. We'll definitely see who and what. Now, talking about surprises, and this one we mentioned this once very quickly, and we said this person really has a very, very outside chance. But Eren Anselmino playing very well for Dortmund when he's not injured, scored his first goal for the club. Lisandro Martinez is back for Manchester United. The center backs, you mentioned Valentin Gomez for Betis, although he has been playing left back for them. There's competition. You look at Christian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi, of course, Leo Valerdi, Martinez, Anselmino, some of the other ones as well that have been in the team.
Facundo
Uh,
Medina.
Fagundo Medina, another one of absolutely. There is competition there at center backs and fullbacks.
There's a lot of competitions, or a lot of competition. For example, also Kevin McAllister played as a center back or right back in
Yeah.
the last match day. I don't, or in the last match day against Angola. I don't see him really being called up for the next World Cup.
Mm.
But yeah, Valentin Gomez having a really good level. Um, it's gonna be. I don't know. Selmino, when he's not injured, he's a starter for Dortmund, a huge team like Dortmund, and he does really well, and
Yeah.
they really like him there. But it's gonna be interesting. There's a lot of competition. Then you have the doubt of a player like Lisandro Martinez, who, if he's okay, if he's fit, he is a starter without a doubt.
Yeah.
But he's been injured for the last 10 months, and now he's coming back.
That's another one. And I mean, you mentioned Lisandro Martinez. He's a starter. He's probably going to start ahead of Nicolas Otamendi. And Leo Balerdi, who's been a starter for Argentina, probably drops to third or fourth choice center back for Argentina. So there's depth there. Let's get to the chat, see what everyone is saying, what's talking about. Joel, hey Joel, hey boys, just joined. Are you matching? Yes, I have the 19, the Messi, and Osvaldo has the number 10, Riquelme. And NEGMS as left center back and right center back. We need Hernan Samino and Rivero. Lautaro Rivero of River Plate, another one. He could be a surprise. He's what, 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 22, 23 years old, around that age.
Maybe even younger.
I mean, the competition is there, and he's talented. He's very good as well.
His River Plate are not doing well. Their year just
No,
finished. They're struggling to get into Libertadores. They have to see. They depend on other results. And yeah, the defense of River Plate wasn't that great in the last few matches, but Rivero stood out for sure in that defensive line.
yeah, and he's another one. Elijah saying, do you think Balerdi will start the first World Cup match? I don't think so. We'll wait. I mean, Otamendi might not get suspended. Like it might, he might actually be allowed to play in that first game. But if everyone is fit, I don't think Balerdi starts. I think the center back in the first game would be Christian Romero and Lisandro Martinez. I think those would be the two center backs for Argentina in the first game. I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Look, I have here a list. It's from an Argentine journalist, Bruno González Garcia, of the players that have been called up by Scaloni in 2025 but haven't played.
Okay.
Those are Walter Benitez, for example. We're talking about the goalkeepers, but then in the defensive line, you have Acuna. We have to see what happens with Acuna, Valentin
I,
Barco, Julio Soler, Mariano Troilo, Kevin Lo Monaco. Those are just the defenders.
wow. I mean, Acuna. I don't think Acuna makes the World Cup. I I don't think so. I think someone else will get in his spot. I don't know if Soler is ready just yet. I can't see Acuna. He's been dropped often from Scaloni. That's why I don't think he ends up making it. Uh, that's a tough one. Who are the other three?
It was Acuna, Barco, Soler. Those are the three left
I mean,
backs.
Barco, is Barco really a left back at this point? That's the
No,
thing.
yeah. He
Maybe,
could play it there, but
maybe,
he's
yeah,
more of a midfielder.
yeah.
And then as center backs, you have Troilo, Lo Monaco. I don't see them really being
I
called
don't
up.
see them. No,
Troilo, I think he got a red card today playing with Parma or yesterday. But he's not playing bad.
he's not playing bad, but I don't see him making the World Cup team. I don't know. Again, you mentioned it earlier, surprises from Scaloni, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yes. If you want, I can tell you the full list of players that have been called up by Scaloni in 2025, but
Sure.
haven't played. You have Barrenechea, who's still having a lot of minutes in Benfica.
Outside
Alan
chance.
Varela, Claudio Echeverri, Valentín Carboni, Benjamín Domínguez, and Santiago Castro from Bologna.
I don't see them. I mean, Barrenechea maybe with an outside chance. But I don't see any of them making the World Cup team for Argentina. It's still early, of course, but I don't see it.
Scaloni really likes Carboni.
He does, but he hasn't been called up this. Well, he hasn't played this year yet since coming back from injury.
Yes, that's
He
true. He
hasn't.
got his injury.
Yeah.
And they have players like Matias Soler that has not even been called up.
I think Matias Soler makes the World Cup. I don't know. I think it's one of those things
So.
where Scaloni might keep it last second included. I don't know. Especially if he continues playing this well, I don't see why he's not called up.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, we always talk about in that position how he has Mastantuono, Nico Paz, Messi, to add another player. But yeah, in my opinion, Soler right now it's in better form than Mastantuono. Not that
100.
Nico Paz. Nico Paz is doing really well, but maybe Mastantuono. He's still very young, Mastantuono. I think he could potentially wait a little bit.
Yeah, he could. He's still very young. There's a lot. There's it's difficult options for Scaloni for sure. Would I take him over Mastantuono? Maybe, yeah. I mean, he's playing better. Nothing against Mastantuono, but he's definitely playing better, much better. Let's take a look here. Does DePaul start midfield first game of the World Cup? I mean, I think so. I know we've spoken about it since DePaul joined Inter Miami. His form up and down, sometimes very good, sometimes not as good. I think when it's a big game, especially for Argentina, I think he'll play to his potential. I think so. I'm not really worried about that.
Yes.
Because Paredes' performance, Paredes and midfield. I mean, we were talking about players in very good form. Paredes is another one.
Yes.
It's very good. DePaul in big games mentality is different. Cesar mentioning, I mean, Matteo Pellegrino, you posted about it earlier this week. Maybe going to be called up for Spain for the Finalissima. I don't see him getting called up for Argentina. In a way, I'm kind of surprised he has not, but at the same time, I don't see how he would fit.
Yes. No, I agree. We have so many good number nines. He's really good. He has been scoring some goals. He's the son of Mauricio Pellegrino, the coach.
Yes.
And we were talking over chat how Spain has a great team, probably one of the best teams for sure, but they don't really have a great number nine.
No, they don't, and they haven't for a while, to be honest. And they have a stacked team, but up front, it's the attack, right? It's the number nine. I don't. I think that's maybe where they're lacking a little bit for them. Yeah.
Italy could have Retegui, Spain could have Pellegrino. We have a lot of number nines in the last 20 years. So we always had really good number nines. I remember with Higuaín, Agüero. Before that with Batistuta, Crespo.
Batistuta, Crespo, Lisandro Lopez was one who never really got called up much with Argentina. Sabella called up Hernan Barco at one point. Barcos at one point. I'm trying to think who else. There were a couple. Franco Di Santo, he used to play with Chelsea. Some players that were called up played a couple of games, but no, for sure. I mean, Batistuta, Crespo, the big ones. Higuaín, the most recent one before this generation of strikers as well. All right. Uh, let's get to. I mean, we spoke a little bit about De Paul, Tadeo Allende, into Miami. Lionel Messi reaches 47 career trophies. I'm just gonna say this before I let you talk, and we'll get to the chat in a moment. He's at 47. If Inter win on Saturday, that's 48. Finalissima in March, and then after that, I mean, hey, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna go any further than that.
A potential 50, maybe. Hopefully. I'm just surprised of the way that Inter Miami has been playing the last few matches, winning easily the quarterfinals, winning easily the the final of the conference yesterday. A lot of credit to Mascherano, because when Inter Miami doesn't win by 2 or 3 goals, Mascherano get a lot of criticism. But to be honest, Inter Miami has been playing really well, and Mascherano deserves at least some sort of credit. And of course, players like Messi, Tadeo Allende, De Paul, of course, Busquets, Jordi Alba, but
Matteo
really,
Silvetti.
Mattia Silvetti, yes, the goalkeeper, Rio Rocco Snow,
Rocco.
Rocco Nova. Weigand started playing a little bit as a right back. A lot of Argentinians for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. A lot of them, and I will take a brief moment here. On Saturday, it's going to be Jordi Alba's last game, and Sergio Busquets, his last game. And obviously, they've been tremendous teammates for Messi, be it with Inter Miami, but more at Barcelona. But yeah, it's Mascherano. Credit to him. He's gotten, like you said, a lot of criticism. He's done well. I think the exclusion of Suarez has helped the team. Messi is not going to drop back. Of course, we know that. Suarez is not as mobile as he was, and I think that didn't help them having them both up front. Removing Suarez, adding someone in, and it's varied from game to game, but adding someone in that is maybe a little bit more versatile, more mobile than Suarez, I think has helped Mascherano and Inter Miami. I think that's helped
I
them a lot.
agree. I agree. And Silvetti, I hope he's getting a lot of experience by playing with these amazing players
Yeah.
like Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, because hopefully he's the future of Argentina. He was in the under 20. He did a really good job. So hopefully he continues playing the way he's playing. He's playing really well.
Oh, he's done well. He's certainly done well for Inter Miami since joining them. Let's take a look. Curious if you guys could address the topic of the World Cup prices. It would be a dream of mine to attend an Argentina World Cup match, but the cost might be insane for Messi's farewell tour. I've seen some of these prices. I don't know if you have, Osvaldo. They've been very expensive.
Yes. I know there've been some pre-sales,
Yeah,
and that it's like literally it's been just for 5 minutes before they took it. I know that they're gonna release a lot of more tickets, and after the draw on Friday, I believe, I'm sure we are gonna know more where Argentina is gonna play, of course against who, and I think more tickets are gonna be able to purchase. But what they're saying, or the tickets I've seen, Roy, too, they're crazy expensive. With the Club World Cup, they struggled to sell a lot of the tickets, and at the very last minute, they ended up just giving tickets to local colleges, local schools here. I think the World Cup is different. It's gonna be
yeah.
different. I imagine all the stadiums, although they're huge, but I imagine them to be packed. Uh, it's gonna be easy to get tickets. It's gonna be very difficult to get tickets at a reasonable price, I believe.
No, I think so, and we've seen this throughout many sporting events, not just the World Cup or football, but really throughout many different sporting events. You've seen the prices go up significantly over the last year or so, and like you said, for the World Cup, I think it's going to be packed stadiums. I don't think it's going to be empty like the Club World Cup, but it's going to be expensive for sure. I think it's
Yes.
going to be very expensive.
And with this format of the World Cup with more teams, yes, you might see two national teams. I don't want to give an example, but two minor national teams, and for
Yeah,
sure the stadium is not gonna be packed. But in general terms, when Argentina plays, when Brazil plays, when Spain plays, I imagine the stadium to
oh,
be packed.
no, it's going to be full, definitely. Definitely full. Before we continue with the chat, hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as we go live or as soon as a new video drops. We're talking about the World Cup right now. We have the World Cup draw on Friday. We're going to be live. I don't know. I know you mentioned Osvaldo. You might not be able to make it on Friday for the live discussion draw, but we'll be live on Friday after the draw to discuss it all. We'll know the matches, the fixtures. Well, we're going to know everything. So we're going to be live. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to join that discussion. Anthony Garcia, welcome, Anthony Garcia, and welcome everybody as well. I want Nico Capaldo at right back, Valentin Gomez at left back. I haven't seen Capaldo how he's done lately. I'll be fully honest. I have not seen how well he's done. But his name was dropped earlier this week. Someone else mentioned it as well, which got me thinking maybe he is doing well. I'm not sure. But Valentin Gomez, if he continues playing as left back, maybe, just because we have no one to really back up Tagliafico, but I haven't kept up with Capaldo and Hamburg. So I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. All right. Mr. Happy, hello. Hello, Mr. Happy. Thank you for joining us. All right. Let's continue on. There was a big topic earlier this week. I mean, I have it here just as Argentina football, but there's been a lot going on, Osvaldo. You wrote a great piece over on MundoAlbiceleste.com. There's always something with Argentine football in the country.
Yes, and this is something very complex to explain, but just a lot of things going on with the AFA, with Claudio Tapia, the president of Argentina. We've talked a lot and we criticize a lot, and I think we're going to continue to criticize just the friendly matches that Argentina has been playing the last few years. The rivals are not according to Argentina's level, and if we want to prepare the best way for the next World Cup, we always say that we need to play against better teams. Mm-hmm. You can do, and we were talking about this actually not so long ago, you can do a match maybe in India, in Africa, in Asia, against maybe a team that is not as good, because Argentina is a massive brand, and just to globalize the brand, it makes sense. But it can be that every single match is against one of these teams, which the only goal it's economically for the AFA. There's no more than that. It's like Tapia doesn't really, when he coordinates these matches, he doesn't think in anything else than the economic part, instead of thinking about what might best work for Argentina towards the World Cup. And besides that, and that the league, it's very difficult to understand. They gave a trophy out of nowhere to Rosario Central, to Angel Di Maria. I love Di Maria. I have nothing with Rosario Central players, fans, but it was literally out of nowhere. Basically, there's a table, there's a standings beside the regular cup that Boca, for example, played today, that it gives you the qualification to Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana. And Rosario Central was the first one in the year because they had a great year. But never, ever before it was announced that for the best of the year, they would receive a trophy. And they basically gave it to Rosario Central. It's something like they do here in the MLS, that they give it to I think it's called, the Supporters Shield, right? It's called. Yeah. But if you want to do something like that, okay, I understand. But announce it and do it for the following year. You can just make it up, at the end of the season, give a trophy to Rosario Central. I'm sure you saw the images of Estudiantes playing against Rosario Central. Estudiantes president Juan Sebastián Verón against, in the last few years, of Tapia, and the Estudiantes players not doing I guess. Yes, exactly. So it's complex, difficult to explain in just a few minutes. But Tapia, apparently, in the AFA, are not. You would expect them. Okay, they're gonna try to calm the waters a little bit and be less controversial, and they try to kind of demand the Estudiantes La Plata because of not doing that corridor, that guard of honor, which doesn't make any sense. A lot of referees in the last year or so that have been very controversial. So there's a lot of things Argentina's president Javier Milei involved too and criticizing Claudio Tapia. It's all messed up.
It is, and the problem is that it's the hate or the dislike is now going not just towards Tapia but towards the national team, like the players. Even Messi, De Paul has gotten a lot of hate. A lot of players just because they're with Tapia a lot, and there's always pictures of them together when the national team is there. Uh, the Argentine Federation has always made odd decisions when it came to the league. Even before Tapia, when it was Grondona, you had the Apertura, the Clausura, then you had relegation, no relegation, 30 teams, 20 teams, 5 teams, whatever it was. There was always a lot going on, and it was difficult to kind of follow. And this is another big one that's difficult to follow because, as you mentioned, they just kind of created the trophy. It's not like they said, okay, well, next season, the team with the most points will get this trophy, and then this happens. They just kind of gave it to them, and then apparently there was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Osvaldo. Apparently they said, "Oh well, the teams knew about this, the presidents knew about this," and then Veron, some of the players said, "We didn't know about this. Like no one, there was no vote that was done for this trophy." It's a lot of stuff, a lot of controversy going on, and I've seen comments online. You've seen it online. A lot of the dislike towards Tapia, and that's just one part of it. You mentioned the other part in terms of the national teams and the matches that they play, the opponents. There's always something. There's certainly always something.
There's a lot of things that haven't been done right, and I think Tapia has to be so thankful about having the luck of having Messi and Scaloni and having won the World Cup, because if you take that aside, that of course he has some responsibility. He was the one that said, okay, Scaloni is gonna be the coach when no one gave anything for Scaloni. No one, we didn't when we saw that Scaloni was gonna be the coach. 99% of us was like, what is this? We're gonna give the last World Cup to Messi, and credit to him, he decided to stay with Scaloni, and then the rest is history. But aside from that, it's just it's it's everything is really bad. And I also want to see, because Messi, the Paul, they're smart. I'm sure that they have nothing personal against Tapia. On the other side, on the contrary, I think that they have a really good relationship. But Messi, especially Messi, he's very smart and he knows um, what he generates and how they can use him, because it's a picture with Messi by the president of the AFA or the president of Argentina. It's he knows the power of that, and I believe, this is just my opinion, I have no idea, but I think that he knows everything that is happening, all the criticism that Tapia is receiving. And again, not as a bad way to just take, kind of don't continue showing himself with Tapia, but just also telling Tapia, hey, I don't want to be politically used, because he's being used. He's receiving, him and the Paul are receiving a lot of criticism because of Tapia, and it's very fair. And I think it's gonna happen. Messi and the Paul saying, hey, all good with you. I mean, we can still be friends. We can still, but nothing in public, because they're ruining their credibility basically, and they have nothing to do really.
No, and it's true. It's true. We're gonna see. I mean, in the sense of Argentina now, the next time they play at home will probably be maybe right before the World Cup, maybe a friendly match, maybe right as a sort of like last match for the World Cup they might play in Argentina. Other than that, Argentina probably won't play another home match until next year after the World Cup. And if the criticism continues, and if Argentina do not win the World Cup next year, then the criticism on Tapia and a lot of the players is going to be very high, very high.
It's true.
So we'll see what gives. This is an interesting one to follow. This is a very interesting one to follow.
Yes.
Let's continue on. Let's take a look at the chat. Gavi's saying Massimo Perrone over Lo Celso. We were talking about midfielders.
Perrone is playing really well.
He's playing very well with Como. Nico Paz is playing really well with Como. There's a lot there. There is certainly a lot there. All right. Let's get to. I mean, the next one, November. The November shirt winner, Osvaldo. It's the contest. It's the 1998 retro World Cup away kit. The giveaway. Uh, I'll let you have it, Osvaldo.
Yes, yes. For the November, as you were saying, we're giving away that shirt. Basically, you have to subscribe to mundoalbiceleste.com. We do a jersey giveaway, a retro Argentina jersey giveaway every month. For the subscribers, it's just $2.99 a month or $29.99 a year. You can also play the trivia. Maybe after this, Roy, we can do the
Yeah.
question that we did last week. So the people know more or less the kind of questions that they can do. And for that one, you can win a ball, for example, like this one, signed by Julian Alvarez. Let me see where I see the signature somewhere here. Here you go. There you go.
Look at that.
So by playing the
Yeah.
trivia, you win points for a leaderboard, and at the end of the year, you can win the ball. And there's also other prizes. But for the one this month, it's the jersey giveaway, and I have here. I don't know if you're able to see.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
Here
we can
you
see
have
some of the
some
names. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. So let's do it right now.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's see
Who
who's the winner.
who is the winner for this one?
Let's see if you can
Let's
see
see.
it.
Ariozone. Ariozone.
Arioson.
Ariozone.
Arioson. Perfect.
Ariozone.
Perfect. Perfect.
Congratulations to Ariozone on on winning that. It's a nice jersey. It's a very nice jersey.
It's a really nice one. I personally love retro Argentina jersey. We always wear one when we do these lives.
Yes.
And we were talking before this live, bro, for the December one that we're gonna probably post it at some point
Yeah.
tomorrow or Tuesday. We're gonna be giving away not a retro Argentina jersey, but the one that Argentina is gonna wear in the 2026 World Cup. A really nice one. I've seen that people are really liking it. I like it too.
I like it. I have it here. It's very nice. It
So yeah.
No, that's a great giveaway. Congratulations to the winner. I That's a nice jersey. They're all nice jerseys, all of them. Like you said, the one coming up is not going to be a retro one, but for the World Cup one, oh yeah, it's a nice jersey.
So
Definitely.
definitely participate at mundoalbiceleste.com. Play the trivia. You can also write opinion pieces for the site. So there's a lot of things to do.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and it's all on mundoalbiceleste.com. Excellent. Let's see. All right. Well, I mean, the first question that we had: which Argentine player scored his first ever World Cup goal during the group stage against Poland in 2022? By the way, that was November 30th, 2022, same date as today. Which Argentine player was it? Christian Romero, Enzo Fernandez, or Alexis McAllister?
Let me tell you something, Roy, though. I have here the questions from the last week. I think those questions
Last week.
are
Sorry,
from
sorry,
this
sorry,
week.
sorry.
We
Last
don't
week.
want to spoil. We don't want to
No.
spoil.
Okay. I won't spoil that. I'm sorry.
But,
Last week.
but listen, I know that you don't know the questions from last week, so I'm
Go
gonna
for it.
tell you. I'm gonna test you with these
All
three
right.
questions.
Let's do
But
it.
that one that you just read is from this week. So if people want to participate, they can go online on Mundo Albiceleste and participate now. But the
There you
ones
go.
from last week, from the previous week,
Let's do it.
it's number one. Which Argentine midfielder played every minute of the 2022 World Cup campaign? Is it Enzo
Midfielder.
Fernandez? Is it Alexis McAllister? Is it Rodrigo de Paul?
Every minute. You mean started every game or every minute?
I believe every minute. You think there's
Because Enzo did not start versus Mexico. He didn't play versus Saudi Arabia. Alexis McAllister was not a starter. De Paul started, but he didn't finish every game.
which game he didn't finish? Are
The
you
World
sure?
Cup the final.
He was
The final
replacing
or the semifinal? The final or the semifinal?
Well, let's switch. Let's change it. Who played the most minutes?
De
Which was
Paul.
the
De Paul.
Paul? That's
There
the
you go.
correct answer. Very good.
All right.
Let's go
There
to
you go.
question number 2. How many goals did Lionel Messi score during the 2021 Copa America?
Oh, let's see, 5? Wait, I'm saying versus Chile, he had the free kick. Versus Uruguay, it was Guido Rodriguez that scored. Versus Bolivia, I think he had 1 or 2. I just can't remember. He had the lob, the penalty, so that's 3. Ecuador had the free kick. That's 4 in the quarters. He didn't. 4 goals.
Four.
Four
The answer
goals.
is four. I don't know how you remember. Like, I watch every game, but I just can't remember. I sometimes confuse the that Copa America that we won with the one that we
Last
recently.
one. But before we continue, Patrick said De Paul on the earlier question. Mr. Happy and Kavi said De Paul. Mr. Happy and BC saying 4 goals for Messi as well, and Patrick saying 4 goals for Messi. All right, so we're good. What else we got?
Great. Let's go to the last question. So far, 2 out of 2. Let's see the third one. In what year did Argentina win their first Copa America?
Ay,
Difficult. Without options, it's very difficult. If you go to the site, you will have 3 options. But let's see if you can do it without options, Roy.
the first Copa America. Wait,
Yes.
when it became the Copa America, because I know at one point it was like 2, 3 teams type of thing.
This is more than 100 years ago.
Okay, so you're really talking. Do I get options?
Sure. Let's say 1917, 1921, 1925.
17,
21,
21, and 25.
25. Yes.
Wait, the first Copa America was 1916 because there was the 2016 Centenario.
True.
I think Uruguay won that one.
Usually, the answer to the first of everything is Uruguay. Yeah.
It's
Copa
usually wrong.
America,
It's
World
usually
Cup.
wrong. Yeah. I'm looking at the comments. BC saying that was before 1975. Okay. Mr. Happy saying 1921. You know what? I'm gonna go with Mr. Happy. I'm gonna say 1921.
And the answer is correct. 1921.
1921. There you go. Nice. Nice. I like that effort, Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy and Patrick, 1921. No, I knew the first one. I think the first one was held in Argentina, but Uruguay won that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
They beat Argentina in the final. I know Argentina didn't win the first one, the original first one, but it took a while. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. There you go, 1971. Wow. Let's see if I could get it. Let's take a look. 2 seconds. America. Okay, let's go on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is always right. You know, they never lies.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. So 1916 was the host was in Argentina. Uruguay beat Argentina. The second one, 1917, was in Uruguay. That was won by Uruguay. Third one was won by Brazil. Fourth one was won by Uruguay. Then 1921, Argentina. Yeah.
Wow. That's really impressive, Roy. Really. I don't know how you
tried.
remember that.
I mean, look, that last one, I knew it wasn't 16 in my head. I'm like, was it 17 or 21? It was a guess, I'll be honest. That was a pure guess. But Mr. Happy came in clutch. Thank you for that. Thank you, everybody. Shah Fitness. Hi, Roy and Osvaldo. Hello to you, my friend. All right. Next thing, I mentioned this in the last live. I'm going to mention it again. The World Cup draw is on Friday. We're going to know the World Cup, who's going to play against which teams, the venues, the fixtures, everything. We're going to have a live discussion after the World Cup draw on Friday. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be talking about that. We did it in 2022. I believe that one was in April, I think that one was in April before the World Cup, because it was a November, December World Cup. We did it. It was myself, yourself, and I think Sebastian as well. Seba Garcia was with us. And then we're also going to start doing the end of the year moments. End of the year moments. We do it every single year. Probably this year we'll do the top 10 moments. It's usually what we end up doing. So let us know in the comments your top 10 moments of the year, be it a goal, a match, a player, a trophy, whatever it is involving an Argentine player. Let us know. I don't know what's going to be the top 3 this year, Osvaldo. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of much right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
just
right.
because there was no Copa America, there's no World Cup. I don't know. We'll see.
One of the amazing friendly matches Tapia arranged for Argentina.
You know what? I'll say this. Yeah. I think Argentina beating Brazil, was it 4-1 or 5-1?
Yeah, 4-1. I was in the stadium. I told you, right?
You were there for that one. It's true. You were there for that one.
But I wasn't. I told you I wasn't able to watch it. I was watching the screen the whole time, standing up. They just oversold our section. Another masterclass by Tapi or the AFA or whatever it is. But I was so mad. That was not cheap, and
Yeah.
they oversold the section, and people running, families. I went with my sister and my girlfriend that she's American. She the first time she went to Argentina, she couldn't understand anything. Like it was like a jungle. So
No,
fun.
it must have been a good experience, though.
A good
Still.
experience for sure, for sure.
Still. All right. On that note, I want to say a big thank you to you, Osvaldo, of course, and a big thank you to everybody for joining, everybody leaving a comment, subscribing, liking. If you're watching us on repeat or on replay on YouTube, let us know down below in the comments. What do you think of the midfielders, the defenders, the goalkeepers, the team, Messi, the World Cup draw? That's a big one as well, of course. And yeah, on that note, Osvaldo, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just taking a look at the pot one, pot two, pot three, and pot four of the World Cup.
Oof,
We haven't even talked about that, and I'm sure you're
oof.
gonna talk after the draw. But any predictions of who's gonna be in Argentina group? I mean, it's very difficult
Man, I
to.
think I saw one that said it could be Argentina, Morocco, Japan, Italy, or something. I think that's a possibility.
Yes, yes. Let me see. Let me see one second. I have it here.
This
No,
is it,
Japan. They're not in pot three. They're in pot two. But it could be Argentina, Morocco, Norway with Haaland. That they're good, and yeah, Italy, for example. Yeah,
yeah, that would be.
or it could be Argentina, Iran, um, Saudi Arabia. I don't want to. I don't want to face Saudi
No, no,
Arabia
no. They're
again.
both difficult. Argentina, Iran was difficult. Saudi Arabia, we know what happened.
I know. But maybe we can play in pot three Uzbekistan and then Curacao in pot four. Something like that. I think I would like it a little bit more.
Yes, yes. No, it's oof, that's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big one. We'll know on Friday. Joel saying a sick group, yeah. Very, very. And BC saying I want revenge on the Saudis. Oh man. Wow. Look, I'll take an opening match loss if it means Argentina wins the whole thing again. I'll say that now.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
All right. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. My name is Roy Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, joined by Osvaldo Godoy, also of Mundo Albiceleste.com. Until next time.